you are facing a hit. There's just no doubt about it.
I think the fourth quarter is going to be really strong, and I think next year is going to be a tremendous year. That's what's building. That's my opinion. Third quarter is a transition quarter. Second quarter is what it is, but we're in this period where let's see what the numbers are. Third quarter is transition. I think fourth quarter is going to be incredibly strong. I think next year is going to be an unbelievably strong year. Kevin and Larry, would you like to say something about that?
Why don't you start with the CBO numbers?
Yeah, I mean, I'll just say, look, we know we're in a deep contraction with rising unemployment. It's a lot of hardships, a lot of difficulty. The president's rescue package, which really totals $9 trillion between the Treasury and the Fed, has helped to cushion that blow. So that's point number one. We'll take the hit. It's very bad, very difficult. We're doing what we can. As the governor said, as confidence returns with safety features and data-driven, people are anxious to go back to work. And it's interesting to me, the Congressional Budget Office, as well as Wall Street Journal survey of economists, both predicting very significant pickups in growth in the second half of the year, almost 20% growth increases. So that's a good sign. And the president has commissioned us to study middle-class tax relief, middle-class regulatory relief, infrastructure developments, insurance liability protections for small businesses, and again, middle class. I think people are anxious to go to work. There's going to be a lot of pent-up demand. And so I am optimistic about the future. This current situation, as my great friend and colleague Kevin has said, right in here, it is going to be the worst we've seen, probably. But nonetheless, that will be temporary. I believe it passes. And that's what some of these surveys are telling us.
And Larry, I wanted a payroll tax cut. I thought that would have been
did.
the best thing, but the Democrats did not want to give it to us, so we went a different way, which is fine, but I wanted a payroll tax cut.
Both of us agreed with you, as I
think they should have done a payroll tax cut. So Democrats did not want a payroll tax cut, and I think that's a mistake.
Mr. President, Congress comes back next week. Let me try to ferret out the elephant in the room here, potentially, if there is an elephant in the room. What about the idea of aid to states? And Governor, what do you think of this idea from Capitol Hill and Washington sending money to individual states who may be suffering severely through lost revenues and picking up a lot of the tab here?
I think there's a big difference with a state that lost money because of COVID and a state that's been run very badly for 25 years. There's a big difference, in my opinion. And, we'd have to talk about things like payroll tax cuts. We'd have to talk about things like sanctuary cities, as an example. I think sanctuary cities is something that has to be brought up, where people that are criminals are protected. They're protected from prosecution. I think that has to be done. I think it's one of the problems that the states have. I don't even think they know they have a problem, but they have a big problem with it, the sanctuary city situation. We'd have to talk about a lot of different things, but we're certainly open to talking, but it would really have to be COVID-related, not related for mismanagement over a long time, over a long period of time.
You're willing to make that distinction, that much of a distinction?
Well, it's a very
simple
simple distinction to make, yeah. We're not looking to do a bailout for a state that's been unfair to, it's unfair to many of the states, most of the states that have done such a good job. Okay? Anything else? Thank you for the
Do you have any message?
Mr. Follow-up to what you mentioned yesterday, sir. A follow-up to a question from yesterday. You spoke about having a sense of what's going on with Kim Jong-un. Can you say whether or not he's in control of his country?
I just don't want to comment on it. I don't want to comment on it. I just wish him well. I don't want to comment on it.
I just want to ask you, I'm sure you saw that Congress was supposed to come back next week. Steny Hoyer has just announced that the House will not come back, given that D.C. still has a stay-at-home order. Is that a good move, wise move, or a bad move? What
the Democrats, they don't want to come back. They don't want to come back. I think they should be back here, but they don't. They're enjoying their vacation. And they shouldn't be. This is a time, yeah, I think they are. I think they are. If you look at Nancy Pelosi eating ice cream on late-night television, yeah, I think they probably are. They're having a good time. I think they should be back. I think they should all come back, and we should work on this together. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let's go. Come on, Press, let's go this way. Get up this way. Come on, Hunter, let's go. Come on, Press, let's go.
Thank you.